Okay. Okay. So what we were discussing yesterday? So which topic we were discussing?
Creation of collection and request folders.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yes. We were talking about collections, right? Yeah. So collection. Why we have to, go for the collection? What is the use of collection? So what are the features or advantages it's providing? So all these things we already discussed, right? So we have created the API batch collection. So under this API batch, we have created a different folders. Okay. So get folder and post folder. Why? Because I want to systematically organize my request. Okay. So I'm systematically arranging my request. So for that, I'm creating a different folders. Okay. I don't want to, randomly store my request. I want to systematically arrange my request so that whenever there is a specific requirement, it will be easy for me to run the particular request and to get the report. Okay. So now what we will do, we will just work on all the HTTP methods. Okay. So this is the get HTTP method. This is the post, and we'll create a put, patch, delete. Okay. And also I've already explained when we have to go for the put and when we have to go for the patch. Okay. So it's completely depends upon your developers. Okay. So generally, if I want to differentiate those two methods, like if it is for the complete updation, I have to go for the put. If it is for the partial updation, I have to go for the patch. But finally, it's also like it's completely depends upon the developer who has implemented those APIs. Okay, if he has differentiated, then we have to differentiate while validating those APIs. If he has not differentiated while implementing those APIs, we have to make use of only single method for the both partial or complete updation. Okay, so in the Swagger or in the documents, he will be completely defined about those APIs. Okay, so what are all the methods he is using, and what are the parameter he is using, what are the required parameter, what is optional parameter, what type of authentication he is performing. So all this information will be specified in the document. By looking into the document, we have to analyze the document and we have to work with it. Okay, so this is how we need to work in the API testing. Okay, so as part of the demo, so I'm just taking an example of the dummy APIs. Okay, so I'm not taking any real-time APIs like if you want to run how exactly it's working, we can take a GitHub APIs, we can take a like uh yeah put
Hello.
and patch. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. I just joined a minute ago due to some issues.
Okay.
Could you please, I have no idea what exactly going on. Please, could you please just
Mhm.
recap in a minute? Like,
Okay, so yeah,
yeah,
my
thank you.
voice is audible, right, guys? What is there any issue with the
Yes, yes,
voice?
yes. No.
No,
No,
it is
right?
clear.
Yeah. So maybe Basalingappa, right? So Basalingappa, maybe there's an issue from your end, maybe network issue or anything. Okay, you just check with that. Or else rejoin. Okay, yeah, fine. So who's that one more guy? Pankaj, right? Yeah, Pankaj, this is your first class.
Yes, right.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, the course is for API testing. Okay, that right? So you are joined for this course only, right?
Correct, correct. Rest assured.
Okay, yeah, okay, okay, then fine. Yeah. Okay. So I was talking about, I'm all the HTTP methods. Okay. So if we take a HTTP methods, we have a HTTP methods. Okay. So we have a get method, we have a get method, and we have a post method, and we have a put a patch method, and we have a delete method. Okay. So yeah. So get is for retrieval of the data. Okay. Post is for creation. Okay, and patches, put and patches for updation, and this is for deletion. Okay, so now, okay, get is for retrieving some data from the server. Okay, so post is for creation of data inside the server. Okay, so put and patch is for updation, delete is for deletion. Okay, so now ask me the question. So okay, for all other action we have a single method, but only for the updation we have a two methods. Okay, so now there is an ambiguity problem. Okay, so there is a confusion. So when we have to go for the put, when we have to go for the patch. Okay, so if it is a complete updation, okay, this is for the complete updation, you have to use the put method. Okay, so if it is a partial updation, so then you have to go for the patch. Okay, so if you are performing a complete updation of the data, so you have to go for the put. If it is a partial updation, you have to go for the patch. Okay, so this is a general way of defining the methods, put and patch. Okay, but the thing is, in the real time, it's completely depends upon the developer who is developing that API. Okay, it's completely depend upon the developer. Sometimes what happens, if he is a very lazy developer, what he will do, no, I don't want to differentiate for the complete updation and partial updation. I just specify with the one method, that is put. Whether you are doing the complete updation or the partial updation, just make use of a put method. Okay, so he will he will tell that, and he will define only the single method. But if he is very specific developer, okay, if you want to differentiate between the actions that we are performing, so what he will do, he will create a separate method for the different type of action. Okay, so we will get to know. Okay, once after the APIs are ready, so he will give us the document. Okay, so there he will specify for what action which method he has used. Okay, so we have to analyze the document, and if he has used put method, we have to use a put. If he has used patch method, we have to use the patch. Okay, so we will get to know by looking into the document. All the details will be specified in the document. Okay, so what are the which are the method they are using, what are the endpoints they are using, what are the parameters is using, what type of authentication is using. Okay, by considering those document details, we have to validate being a test engineer. Okay, so this is the complete idea about the HTTP methods. Okay, so now as part of the demo, I'm just taking this dummy APIs. This is dummy APIs. Okay, we can't expect a accurate result from this APIs, but we will work on it as part of the demo. Just we will take this dummy APIs and we'll see how it is working. Okay, so now I have taken this website. So in this website we have a list of APIs. Okay, we have a list of APIs which are all dummy APIs. Okay, just for the practice purpose, they're storing this APIs here. Okay, so I'm giving this URL in the chat. Okay, let's check that. Okay, okay. So here, okay, this is the get method. Get method means what we are achieving, we are retrieving the data. So some data is already present, so that we are trying to retrieve. Okay, so what we are retrieving this API, list of users. Maybe in the database they have stored all the users already. Okay, some list of users are available that we are trying to retrieve here. Just click on this get method. Click on this get method. Okay, so request. Here this is the request. This is the response. Okay, so this is the dummy APIs, right? So they are giving all the details. This is the request you have to send. As part of the response, you should retrieve this data, and status code should be 200. This is what they are telling you. Okay, so now tell me, what is my domain name in this case? If you can't if you are unable to unmute yourself and talk, means just make use of a chat and just send me the answer. So what is the domain name in this case? See, this is this API I'm using. Okay, so this is the request part and this is the response part. What is my domain name? Okay, okay, okay. Domain name. Ritesh, I'm asking domain name, not a methods.
Request in.
Okay, 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 fine. Yeah. Okay, so my domain name is okay. So my domain name is request-response.in. Okay, so in this application we have this API, right? So this is my domain name. Fine, I'm copying it. I'm placing here. Okay, this is my domain name. Fine. Okay, now, okay, if I take this now, if I copy this, what it is telling? What are the parameters it contains?
Path parameter and query.
Okay, observe carefully. What are the parameters it contains?
Path parameter.
Are you sure? Okay, open the notepad and write on complete URL. I mean to say complete URL means, okay, this is the domain name and this is the path parameter, right? Combine that. I'm writing like this. Okay, so this is my complete URL now. Okay, so now tell me what are all the parameters it contains. If it's wrong, also no issues. Okay.
Page is equal to
From starting, start from starting. Yeah, tell me.
Protocol. HTTPS is a protocol.
Okay. Okay.
Request.in is a domain name.
This is the protocol. Okay. And yeah, this is
Domain name.
till.
Till
Dotting.
API.
Dotting.
Are you sure?
Request response dotting only.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then next.
After that endpoint. API.
What is this?
Endpoint. API.
Very good. Yeah. Endpoint. Okay.
And after that,
Next.
And then string query.
equal to 2.
What is this?
The path parameter
ID.
String
Query.
query.
Okay.
String
Okay.
query.
Okay. 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 Query string. Okay. Okay. So how have you identified this is the string query?
Because you just
After
question
the
mark.
question mark.
The question mark, it will, after the question mark, so it will query string.
Yeah. Okay. So combination of protocol and domain is called it as
URL or URI.
Basic URL.
what URL?
Basic
URL.
URL. Base URI.
Base URL.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Okay. So this is my protocol. This is my domain. Domain is nothing but, see guys, yes. Okay. So domain name will not till the API because we don't have API here, right? Whenever we are launching this application, we have till dotting only. Okay. So domain is nothing but application name. Okay, so whenever we are launching this application, we have a URL till dotting. So API will not comes under the domain name. Okay, so whatever the application name is there, that is nothing but domain name. If you have a facebook.com, that is the domain name. If you have a whatsapp.com, that is the domain name. Okay, so other than the domain name, whatever we have here in the URL, that may be the endpoints. Okay, so it will not comes under, even if you have a one more endpoint here also, like here the API is there, after the slash maybe API 1 is there, so that all belongs to endpoint only. Okay, so since there are two more like this paths are there, we should not be able to, it's not possible us to add that with the domain name. Okay, so domain is nothing but application name. Whatever the name is there, that is just a domain name. Okay, so combination of this protocol plus domain name is nothing but my complete base URL. Till this is the base URL till .in. Okay, http:// response .in till this is the base URL. This is the endpoint. Okay, so in endpoint, like this is maybe this is the resource. Users is the resource. Okay, so this is the query string. Okay, so why this is the query string? Because we are passing some extra information to this resource. Okay, so what we are passing, we have a list of user. Maybe in the users resource, maybe this consider this is one application. This is one application. Here we have a users resource. Here one button is there. Just assume it. Okay, this is application. Here maybe we have a one button, that is a users button. Users. Okay, so whenever we are clicking on this button, maybe the one more page is opening. Okay, maybe one more page is opening, or any list will be opening, some action is happening. Okay, so maybe whenever we are clicking on this, let us assume page is opening. Okay, maybe no. So whenever we are clicking on this, maybe some list is opening. Okay, like maybe list is like page 1, page 2, page 3, okay, so we have a list of page we have. Okay, so what's happening now? So what I'm requesting, okay, so I want the user whom we have stored in the page 2. Okay, this is the resource. For this resource, we are providing some extra information through my query string. Okay, so what is that information? That is nothing but I'm providing it as a page 2. Okay, means I want the users who is available in the page 2. I don't want any other users. Okay, I just want a list of the user who is available, who is stored in the page 2. Okay, I'm just giving the extra information for this resource. Understanding? Okay, so if I pass a 1 year, maybe the user who is available in the page 1 will be displayed. If I pass the 4 year, the user who is available in the page 4 will be displayed. Okay, so this is how I'm passing this information. So whenever in an application, whenever we have like this of options, so we are better to pass the query string. Okay, if you want to traverse from one resource to another resource, or one resource to sub resource, by the time it's okay, you can use the path parameter. Path parameter means just a slash and just a path name. Okay, so this is something whenever we have options. Okay, we have a list of options here. Okay, so whenever we are giving the users, just if we are ending here, okay, say suppose this is not there, I mean to say this we are not passing. Okay, so what happens in this case? What happens in this case? URL is still this now, till the users. Okay, what happens in this case?
It will display
Think
all
logically.
the pages.
Yes,
all the
perfect. Okay.
users
All
will
the
be displayed.
pages will be displayed.
Yeah, if they're just ending the till the users, what it will do, it will retrieve all the users. Okay, I don't want to retrieve the all the users, I just want to retrieve the user who is present in the page 2. That's why I'm giving some extra information to this resource. Okay, so this is about the resource. Okay, understanding, right?
This is the example of the query parameter.
Example of the
Query parameter or path
yeah,
parameter.
this is the example of the query parameter, query string. Okay, so after the question mark, whatever we have, this is nothing but query string. Okay,
Path parameter. How to distinguish?
path parameter you are asking. Okay, so path parameter is nothing but it will be available in the path itself, like HTTP has / request. So we'll be working with that. Okay, so we'll be working with whenever we are performing the testing. So maybe API / users. So after going to the user, maybe you have a pages. Okay, so path parameter means just traversing the path, as name suggests, just traversing the path, not any extra information that and all we are not passing. Okay, just traversing the path. Okay, go to this path, then you click on this, then you click on this, you will reach here, like that. Okay, so just in the path itself with the / we are providing the value. Okay, so but here some extra information that we are passing. For example, take here, it is a state is there. In the state, maybe this parameter will be some city. In the state, inside the state, we have a many cities, right? If you want to retrieve some particular cities information, means city key you have to pass, value you have to pass, which city information you require. Okay, so like that it will be. Path parameter is nothing but just traversing the paths, not retrieving about any particular information. Okay, this is the difference. We'll work whenever we are working with the testing of by taking the APIs, we'll work more on this. Okay, so now yeah, we'll start working with this dummy API. Okay, so just take this API. This is the get. Okay, so this is the get. So under this get, this is my collection. Under this get folder, click on this 3 dots. We have an option to create a request. Click on the add request. Okay. Okay, so get is the method. So we are passing the URL here. Then body, do we need to pass the body information here?
No,
For the get?
no.
Body.
Okay, okay. Why?
We are
Get.
just retrieving the data. We are not changing anything or providing anything to update or delete or perform any operation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get doesn't
okay.
require body. Post require.
Yes, correct. Okay, so we are just selecting the method and we are passing the URL. And if there is any, if it is asking authentication data, then we are performing. Since it is not asking anything, so we are not performing authentication. So whatever the parameters, so extra parameter we are passing here. See, my postman is very smart. Okay, so it is only identifying that we have a query parameter. Okay, this is not have added here. Okay, this is not have added. It is only automatically taking the query parameters. See, observe here query params, and it is adding it here in the form of key value pair. Okay, so I'm not adding here in the under the params. Okay, it is only observing the URL and it is only providing all the information under the params. Okay, so I'm clicking on sign now. I should get 200. Okay, yeah, I'm getting it. Okay, 200. Status code is 200, means successfully I retrieved the information from the server. Okay, so this is the list of user who is present in the page 2. See, observe here, understand the JSON language. Okay, try to understand here. See, this is the JSON language. I'm expecting the information in the JSON format. Okay, so this is opening curly brace, flower brace, and closing flower brace. Okay, so here, okay, yeah, page number 2. This is what we retrieved, right? So page number 2. So this is other information. Okay, so in the page number 2, this is the, what is this? What is this data?
Records on page number 2, users records.
Array.
Yeah. What is
Array.
Data. Yeah.
JSON array? Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
This data is the JSON array. Okay. So what is this inside the JSON? What we have inside the JSON array?
You have to pass multiple values.
Multiple data.
Data.
Multiple. What is this?
object.
One in
Object.
our place.
Object.
Objects.
Yeah.
Subjects.
Okay. JSON objects. Okay. So why we are using JSON array here?
We are
Because
passing
similar
multiple
type of
values.
When you need
multiple
to
data.
multiple values or
Hmm.
objects, that time we use array.
Yeah. Okay. So we are passing the list of users. Okay. So whenever we have to work with a list of data, so it's better to go with the array concept. So that's why we are creating the array and we are passing in the array. Okay. So this is the list of objects. List of objects is nothing but list of users here. Okay. So each user we are defining in the form of object. Each user data we are defining in the form of objects in the JSON. Okay. So this is the list of objects, nothing but list of user that we are defining inside the array. Okay. Fine. Okay. So this is how we have to do. Okay. Now tell me, just instruct me. Okay. How do I work with a post method? Okay. Just instruct me. Any one of you volunteer. What I have to do first?
First of all,
Just
click
on the
third
post.
first.
Okay. So now
Get yes. Copy this URL.
Yeah.
okay, so this is the post. Okay, first I will copy the URL here. Fine. So
Yes. And
Add it to
under the
post.
post, I have to create a request, right?
Get new request.
Yeah,
Yes.
new request.
Select the post request. HTTP method post.
Which method?
Post.
Okay, post.
Your URL.
URL and
Then
add
in
the
the
body
body,
for that.
in the body part, that
you need a
body
body
is there.
copy from the website.
Which body?
First, this one.
This is the
This
name
name and
and
job.
job.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I have to copy. This one or this one?
No,
Name.
no, this is the first one.
Name and job
because
only.
that is the request. Because this is
Yeah,
the
and
request.
we will get
And
this
the
response
is part after hitting the request.
request, sending the request.
Okay, so which format I have to use?
Raw.
Raw.
Okay.
Here.
Just paste.
Copy.
And
And
the JSON. Last
JSON
option.
text
Wait.
not is a this is
Yeah.
JSON. Text to JSON. Yeah.
JSON.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
now send. Save and
Okay,
send.
here you have to select the JSON because you're creating the data in the form of JSON. Okay,
Yes.
now send the request. Yes, we
Getting
receive the same how it is expecting, right? So it is
Yeah.
expecting
Yes,
201.
201.
Yes, we also received 201. Okay, and name, job, and ID, and created at parameters. Okay, it is also expecting the same. Yes. Okay, so we are successfully retrieving the data. Fine.
How to
Okay.
validate the JSON?
Yeah, validation and all will perform. Okay, so validation and all, if it is in the postman, we have to perform in the test, or else in the pre-request script is also there. Here we need to perform the validation. Okay, so in the postman, if you observe here, we have some inbuilt snippets. Okay, snippets is nothing but we are using this for the validation purpose only. Okay, we have some inbuilt snippets, but apart from this, if you want, okay, for example, see here I'm performing validation. Okay, so what I'm doing here is okay. So I'm sending request now. So I'm performing some validation under status code. Okay, I'm expecting status code should be a 201. Okay, so here test result you have to see now. Okay, whatever the validation we are performing, that result you have to check in the test result. Okay, I'm sending it now. Obviously it will fail. Okay, okay, here I'm creating the data 201 received, and I'm receiving a response properly as per how it is expecting here, but my assertion is failed here. Why it's failed?
Because we are validate with the 200.
Because-
That's why only.
200.
Here we are writing the assertion with the 200. Okay, let me change it to
200.
200. Let me change. This is the message. Okay, whatever you are writing there, that will represent it here. So I will make it as a successfully executed. Okay, okay, okay. Send it now. So maybe we'll add here.
Hello.
Yes, I'm sending. Okay, see, my validation is also passed and the data is successfully created. Okay, so now my validation is passed here. Okay, this is how we need to perform the validation. This validation and all will work on later. Okay, so now as part of the demo, yeah, Naveen, one second. As part of the demo, just get the idea of the basic things. Okay, so yeah, Naveen. So validation is nothing but, see, being a test engineer. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to concentrate on validation only, right? Obviously they will give a URL, so we will send the request and we will get the response. After getting the response, we have to perform the validation, correct? So how we need to perform the validation? Okay, here we are passing this name. Okay, so after creating the data, whether the data is created in the same name or what, that is one validation here. Okay, here we are passing the job. Okay, whether the data is created, whatever the job description we are passing here, what. Okay, basically performing the validation on the response body. This is one validation. Okay, and other than that, performing the validation on the headers, performing the validation on the status code, performing the validation on the time, performing the validation on the some other details here, like ID, what ID is generated, whether it is generating a what. Okay, basically performing the validation and all the response and other parameters here. Okay, so this is what we need to perform the validation. So in the Postman, with respect to this Postman UI, we have to perform the validation either by using the pre-request scripts and tests. Okay, so pre-request script means, just overview I will give you, but we will work on each and every module deeply. Okay, so in the pre-request script, as the name suggesting, before sending the request, if you want to perform any validation or if you want to send some data or a value to the along with the URL to the server, that we have to write it in the pre-request script. Okay, means before clicking on the send button, if you want to send some information to the server or if you want to perform some validation, that you have to write it in the pre-request script. How to write all those things we'll be learning later. Okay, but idea just got, get some idea on it, each and every module. Okay, after sending the request, means after clicking on the send button, you will getting the response back from the request. If you want to perform some validation on these responses, means that you have to write it in the test. Okay, so in the test, if you open this test tab, we have some inbuilt snippets in the Postman. This is what the beauty of the Postman. Okay, so we have all the inbuilt snippets here. Okay, so apart from this snippets, if we want some other functionality to validate, if you want some other validation, means that we have to write of our own. Okay, basic JavaScript is enough. Okay, I will tell you what are all the things I am writing, how to write all these things I will tell you. Okay, so we have all the basic snippets here. If you want any other snippets other than this, that we will be writing. Okay, but most of the snippets will be provided by the Postman itself here. Okay, So this is after performing the validation on the responses. So just I'm making use of the inbuilt snippet, that is nothing but status code here. This is what I'm using here. Okay. So I'm using this.
So in a single test, we can validate the response time as well as status codes, JSON schema, as well as headers and authentication. Can we do
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
What are the validation you can? It means you want to do. You can write all the things here. Okay. So other validation means you have to write here. Okay. So in the single test only, whatever the validation you need to perform for this request, that you have to write it under the test. All the validations things. All the test steps. Okay. So here you have to perform this. Okay. So this is what the basic idea. We'll be working with each and every modules here. Okay. Each and every this params, authorization, headers, body, and pre-request script test. All these parameters we will be working later. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, guys. Yes. Tell me what is the query now. Okay, this is for this I have shown you guys get and post. So I request you guys to anymore. Tomorrow is the just a weekend, right? Whenever you get some time, please go through this document and try to work with all the APIs which is available here. Okay. For the put and patch, create a folder here. I just created get and post. You guys create a put and patch or delete folder and store the respective request in the respective folder and just work with it. And finally, if you're not saving this, it will go like that only. Okay, you have to save so that it will be available in here, or else it will not be available. Okay, you have to save this request. Okay. Okay, now
Hello.
tell me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Naveen, tell me.
Okay. Yeah, I have my question like on the test tab here we are saying this function and to have a status of 201. So what is what we are validating here with this code function?
Okay, what will Lakshya ma'am, can we get your mail ID? Okay, I will. Yeah, what we are validating here is, okay, we send this request, okay. So we send this request and we are getting the response, okay. So what we are validating is for post request means for creation of the data for each and every request we have a different status code, guys. Okay, if you are working with the get, we have a status code of 200. See, observe here. If you are working with the get method, we have a status code as a 200. Okay, if you are working with the post, we have a status code as a 201. Okay, so what we are validating here is, so if it is we are retrieving, we are getting 201 means yes, it is successfully creating the data. Other than the 201, if you are receiving any other status code like 400 series, like 300 series or 500 series, okay, which means that somewhere something means we are doing some mistake. Okay, we have to receive a 201 only. So that validation we are doing here. Okay, other than, okay, for example, check here. I'm instead of users, I'm giving as a user. Okay, I'm going here. I'm sending this. I don't know how it works because this is dummy APIs. Just put a cross finger. Let's see how it will get. No, this is not correct. Okay, because this is dummy API. Okay, that's what I said. Okay, well, let me check this now. No, this is also not correct. Fine. Now at least we got something. Okay. Yeah. So now see, maybe my URL is wrong now. Okay. We are not using we are using a wrong URL here. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm just providing the body here, and I'm providing the data here to create in the server. Okay. So I'm just putting the assertion here like I have to receive a 201. Okay, so I'm expecting after sending this request, data should create in the database and I should retrieve the 201 here because a successful creation for the successful creation of the data, I should retrieve the status code as a 201. This is what expected, but I don't know that I'm doing mistake in the URL. Okay, so after sending this, what's happening? What's happening? We are receiving a 404. Okay, so 404, what it is telling, the requested resource could not be found but may be available again in the future. Okay, so this resource is not there now. This resource itself is not there, so I'm trying to send the data for this. Okay, so this is what it is providing us. Means requested is not found. Okay, so and then here test result. See what I'm expecting in the test 201, because after successful creation I should retrieve the status code as a 201 here. Okay, that's why my test result is failing here. Why? See, observe here, assertion error. Okay, so expected response to have a status code is 201, but received is
You are
404.
getting 404.
Yeah, okay, so this is how you need to perform the assertion. Okay, so yeah, so this is, oh my god, this is dummy APIs, no? So what's happening is, even if I am changing the single letter in the URL, it's working. Okay, but this should not happen when you are working with the real-time APIs. Okay, so even if one letter is missing, also it will not work. For example, here this is users. Okay, so if I am removing yes also, it should not work actually, but in this case it's working because this is dummy API. We should not expect much in this. Okay, so we'll work with the real-time APIs later. Okay, so in our actual classes we'll start working with the real-time APIs, then we will see. Okay,
So
but
like ideally, when we execute the request, right? So we will be getting 201 back. So we will not be will not be required to write this snippet, right?
yes, will not be required. Means just we are performing the assertion. Okay, means just we are performing assertion for the safer side, like yes, 201 is saving, but we are performing the assertion here on the status code or on the response body, all those things. Okay, for example, okay, so this is single request we are working with. Okay, whenever we have a multiple request, so what we will do, it's not possible us to go through each and every request response body. Okay, we will simply we are writing the assertion in the test and we are executing all the APIs together. Okay, so if whenever something is failing, we will get the result here, which API is failing and why it is failing. So since it is working with a single API, you are feeling that why we anyhow it is here and it's available. Why again to perform the assertion? Okay, but whenever we are working with the real time or whenever we have a list of APIs, it's very hard to go through each and every response body and all the status code. Okay, so just we will perform the assertion here in the test under the test, and if we execute it means it will show you what all the APIs are passing and what all the APIs are failing. Okay, so this is very helpful, guys. Actually, okay, we'll get to know once we are start working with the testing. We'll get to know how assertion is helpful. All these things we'll get to know later. Okay. Okay.
Hello, ma'am. I have a two question. I already attended two demo class. This is my second demo class. That's why I have some query. First query is that when you start our main class, about the class running, are you providing us a probable interview question and answer?
Okay. This is your first class, right? This is your second class.
Second class. So that's why I'm little bit want to know when we
Okay.
start main class over the class. Are you providing us the probable interview question and answer?
Yeah. Okay. So this demo class will end today, guys. Okay.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
anyone wants to join me, please plan accordingly within this weekend. Okay. So you guys have a time till Sunday. If anyone wants to join me, so just join it. Okay. From Monday, actual class will be starting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So class will be
okay. Okay, when you start your Monday class from the actual class, and after that, are you providing probable interview question and answer for attend how we attend the interview?
Yes. Okay. So yes, I'm providing that. Okay. So you will be getting a okay, everyday recording sessions you'll be getting. Okay, along with that, I will be providing you interview questions as well as notes also. Okay,
Yes,
so
thank
this
you,
is my
thank you.
part, guys. Okay, so notes and interview question is my part, and videos they will be uploading by creating a Google Drive for the particular batch. They will be uploading you everyday sessions videos also. Okay, you will be having a video success as well as all the notes I will provide. Okay, so this is basically the actual. The thing is, this is course is for the automation. Okay, but I am adding this manual part also. Why? Because I know, guys. Okay, if you're very new to this concept, means you will not understand if I directly if I start the automation part. So I'm just taking you through the first manual approach. Once you're getting some hold on it, then we are jumping into the automation. Okay,
That's very
so
good.
this is what the
That's
plan is.
that's very good. Another further, a little
Hmm?
bit explain. After this complete this course, what is our future prospect in our job field?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, nowadays, API testing is booming. Okay. So you can expect, if you want to switch also means you can switch the job with a good package, I can say. Okay. So yeah, others, just open the Naukri and you just, go through the description of the job. Okay. Each and every company are expecting a candidate to know about the APIs. Okay. So now the API testing is booming. So it's worth to learn. Okay, I can tell that.
Okay. Another is
Ma'am,
nowadays our lots of AI based. When we complete this course, can we do that AI test with the API testing?
Sorry, can come again?
Okay. Nowadays, most of the apps are based on AI based, intelligence based. So after this
Okay.
AI testing, can we do the API AI based app test through the API?
ये high base of
I just asking about the nowadays all corporate houses establish their apps based on AI, artificial intelligence. So
okay.
when you complete this course, are we able to do the AI test API testing, the AI based application or not?
Yeah, based application like you have to means if you're interested in that means you have to give a try with that. Like how you can adopt this knowledge with those kind of application. Okay. Uh, okay, understanding, right? These are all the things like how we do.
So API testing also cover that application, which application based on AI. Also, am I right?